Okay. Hi, I'm Jenny, and today I have the privilege of speaking with one of our math teachers, Mrs. Rainey.
Hi. So I teach three math classes for my fun science. One class is 2468. That's the actual name of it. 2468. You can learn to do math great. And that is for students who really need that firm foundation of the basic math skills. So it could be anywhere from a student who is maybe in fourth grade or fifth grade, or a student who maybe is in eighth or ninth grade and still need, or 10th grade even, and still needs those basic concepts ingrained in their mind. And so for that class, it's only a semester long, and we do it for 90 minutes every week. And we just review and learn and practice new skills or old skills, just to make them better in their memory, so that the students can remember them better and learn how to work with the fractions, decimals, percents, things like that, whole numbers, everything, just backwards and forwards. And we just do a lot of different games and have different methods that that I teach them. So that class is a really fun class, and it coincides with any other math class that a student would be taking. So it's not the only math class they should have for the school year, because it's only for one semester in the spring. And so I've had a lot of students who in the past. I also teach middle school math, which is obviously for grades in the middle area, sixth, seventh, eighth. And those kids, if they start off at the beginning of the year in the middle school math class, a lot of times they'll say, uh-oh, I'm not very good, or I'm not as good as I should be with my decimals or my fractions. And then they'll add on the 2468 math class in the spring. So that helps out a lot. If they just all of a sudden realize they need a little extra boost here. And then I also teach pre-algebra, which is eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, somewhere in there. So I've had a seventh grader before. It's your choice because it's homeschool. So, the mom or the dad or whoever gets to, grandma, whatever, gets to decide what grade their student is in, for each subject. And that's what's awesome about homeschooling. So for pre-algebra, that is a really excellent course to get the students ready for algebra 1. Sometimes parents think that they can go straight from middle school to algebra 1, and maybe they can. But that pre-algebra class really solidifies everything that students need to know for that middle school age group, that all that, the basics and just every skill possible. And they need to really have it really in a firm grasp when they're in pre-algebra, so that when they get to algebra 1, it should be easy. If you skip that pre-algebra class, sometimes it's really difficult, and then the kids have to backtrack. And with math, obviously you don't want to have to backtrack, but you need, because you build, and everything you do from one day to the next is built on the last foundation. So I love teaching math, and I've been doing this forever, like 26, 7 years, I guess.
Uh,
And have worked in public schools, private schools, homeschool, co-ops. And I've been here, and I taught online at other places, and I've been here with My Fun Science, my favorite. So yeah, it's awesome. So that's a quick synopsis of all three of the math classes that I teach.
Great.
And they're fun. And like I said, we do, is each of those classes are 90 minutes for one day a week. And then they have assignments that they will do the other days of the week. So like if the class is on a Monday, that's their math for the day. And then when Tuesday rolls around, they have an assignment to go in and complete, answer questions, work out some problems, etc. Maybe 45 minutes, depending on how slow or fast they are. And that's it for that day. The parent doesn't have to do anything. If the student gets stuck or has a problem, they can contact me. They also get multiple chances to do the practices that they do, throughout the course of the week. So if they bomb the first time for let's say the Tuesday assignment, they get to take it again. They can take it again that night. They can take it again on Wednesday. They can take it again a week from then, whatever. So I give them, 2 and 3 chances to do an assignment, and each time, hopefully, they're, oh yeah, okay, I remember how to do that now, or I understand why I missed that. So that's a a gauge for them to know if they're doing well or not. Also, obviously, I see everything that they're doing. So I can monitor that and keep that in the grade book and stuff. And just, the students really do a good job with, I know that I tell them all the time, you must do math every day. I'm not talking about the weekend, but you need to do math every day. Why? Because I know you want to do all these assignments right now and be done with them on Tuesday and and have nothing else to do the rest of the week. And hey, you're a homeschooler. If you're going out of town, that's fine. Because you got to go somewhere, right? You won't have a computer or whatever. So that's great. But that's not going to help you in the long run. So in the long run, we want you to actually carve out whatever time you want, if it's in the morning, afternoon, evening, around your dance classes or sporting events, whatever, and do that, 45-minute assignment every day. Because why? It's going to keep it in your brain. If you do it all on Tuesday, you're not going to remember it by the time you see me again on the next Monday. So that's kind of the mathematical spiel for any math class, not just my math classes, but any math class. So yeah, it's awesome. I have had kids that I tutor kids in my house. I'm here in North Carolina, in Raleigh. And they've done the different programs that are out there. They've done the online classes with other things. They've done, textbook things that you can purchase and watch a CD. They've bought just the workbooks. I mean, there's so many choices. But ultimately, to be able to communicate with a person and to make friends within the classroom, it's more enjoyable. I mean, it's boring to watch a video and you're not socializing. You're not doing, anything with anybody else. And when we're in class, we're always talking, chatting. If you want to put on your camera, you can. I don't make the students do that. Some of them don't want to turn on the camera. That's fine. And we do a lot of chatting through text on the screen. There's a chat box that we talk through there. And they just participate. They write on the board. They, answer questions, either text or audio or, by matching or whatever on the screen. So just imagine being in a real live classroom. That's what it's like. There's actually a screen that's separate from just my video, that we can all write on and do assignments on and do things on and practice and whatever. And along with that, we do other fun things that's outside of the classroom, but still within it, so to speak. Like Kahoots and quizzes and things like that, where it's all a game. It's a math game. And we do that, I try to do one of those every class session. So it takes, maybe 6 minutes or something, but it's fun and it's all math and it gets them all involved and they get to answer questions and compete in a nice way. Yeah, I mean, I only see their scores. Nobody else is seeing it, until the very end, but we see the winner. But other than that, it goes by really fast. 90 minutes, it's quick. Oh, and one last thing. Also, a lot of programs that are online, you just show up, right? And you just watch the video, or if it's a live thing, you watch it. In my classes, each student is given a PDF, a worksheet to print. So they actually are participating at their desk. So they're writing down the problem. I'm asking them questions. They're chatting the answer to me. If the answer's 5, they'll put 5, but then they're also writing it on their paper. And, periodically I'll say, okay, now you're going to take a picture of that worksheet, send it to me. It's going to be 100 if you have done it properly. We use colored pencils and stuff. And I say, okay, I'm going to choose pink, but you guys choose blue, whatever. I utilize all of those tools because it helps the students to remember when they leave me. Use your notes to answer the questions that are going to be graded in the grade book. Use your notes. It's not cheating. This is your notes. I want you to use them. Go back and look at them. Because why? Because that's how we remember things. Just staring at me talking is not going to help you with math at all.
Right.
And if you don't give them something to actually fill in, they're not going to just on their own initiate, writing down the problems and stuff. So I go ahead and so the parents can print all this out ahead of time. They come to class, it's usually 1 sheet or maybe 2 sheets, front and back, whatever, per class. And the kids just, if they didn't have it, I think they would be lost because you just can't do math without writing it down. And so many programs nowadays are, even like Khan Academy is awesome, but you still aren't writing anything down. You're still looking at the screen when you're answering the questions. And I know they've got a screen on there that you can work. It's just not the same. It's just not the same as actually, putting pen to paper and yeah. So wow, I think I talked too much.
So what would you say your availability, if a student has a question during the week, are you available for questions during the week?
Yes. And I actually give them my text number. So, I mean, everybody has a phone nowadays, just about, or tablet, something you can send a message and they'll just text me, hey, number 5, da da da. And I'll just send them back an answer, whatever. I mean, obviously they can email me, but if I'm out and about, I'm not checking my email. So yeah, so it's pretty much instant feedback. Or if something's not working or they, let's say they were sick and they couldn't come to class, they would send me a message. I'm not gonna be there today, and I might get that 10 minutes before class starts. So, or I can't log in. And, and then we have to use the technology to our advantage.
Right.
And I would never give my text number out to my public school students, that I have taught in the past. But for these guys, I've never had a problem. My
That's
homeschool
awesome.
kids, yeah, they're sweet babies. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So touching back with parents, you said something about the parents don't really have, to know, or like, what's the parents' role in your class? So you teach on Mondays. I think math can be intimidating for parents. So sometimes they could worry, like, do I need to teach my kid Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or what is my role in this? What would you say to a parent as far
Yeah.
as that?
Excellent question. Well, okay, so let's split up the 3 classes that I teach. So the semester long class, which is the 2, 4, 6, 8, you can learn to do math great. That's actually on Tuesdays. That is a supplemental class. So the parents should have been already doing something else, whatever it is they started with at the beginning of the school year in August.
Right.
But as regards to my class, they should not have to do anything other than if I say, I would send them an email, hey, Johnny did not do his last assignment. Then the parent can come in there and say, okay, let me see. What'd you not do? That
Right.
kind of thing. Other than that, they shouldn't have anything to do with the assignments in the classroom. And that sort of goes along with the other 2 classes, the middle school math class and then the pre-algebra class. Both of those, once again, those are the math classes that they need for that whole year. The parents should not have to do anything else. No other math should go along with those 2 classes. I mean, unless they want to do something extra. But they'll be completely covered to go into, for example, the middle school math class. So obviously that's 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Could be a 5th grader maybe, or a 9th grader. Okay, whatever. But some parents will say, like, if their child's in 6th grade, oh my gosh, that means they'll be in pre-algebra in 7th grade. I'm like, yes, they will. But why will they be able to do that? Because they will have learned everything they need to know. Now, let's say it's an 8th grader and the 8th grader is in the middle school math class. It's not a problem because the students are learning everything they could possibly need to know from 6th through 8th grade, all in one class.
Okay.
I created the class myself. So it literally covers everything you need to know from 6th through 8th grade. Now it's assuming that you know these basics very well.
Okay.
Multiplication, division, adding, and subtracting of whole numbers, right? I mean, you should know that by the time you're in 4th, 5th grade. If not, you need to take the 2, 4, 6, 8 math class. Same thing with fractions and decimals. You should know the basics. I mean, we still review all of that because as a good math teacher, you always review what the student should have learned the year previous. You have to remember that you're off for the summer, and so when you roll in August, I'm assuming that you have not done math. So we're going to review anyway. But those classes, once again, that math class, for example, is going to prepare the student, whether they are in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, to go into the pre-algebra class.
Okay.
And be ready to go. Now, and the parents should not have to do anything. Pre-algebra, once again, this actually is Bob Jones curriculum. So they do have to purchase a textbook or get one from used, whatever. We do assignments in there because since it's pre-algebra, I want them to be officially, covered completely with everything that they're going to need in Algebra 1. And a lot of parents and a lot of programs online do Algebra 1 with Bob Jones or some of the other companies that are out there.
Right.
And they're intensive. So that's why I say you wouldn't want to skip the pre-algebra class and just, unless your child is just, great, and go straight to Algebra 1. Because it really does, take the time to reinforce the stuff that they should have learned previous, and you learn a lot of new things.
Right.
We'll use again in Algebra 1. But once again, the students will have assignments in the pre-algebra class. They are, although, out of the textbook. And then I have all of the answers out in the classroom, and they go and they check their paper. If they're old enough to check their paper, they should be in 8th or 9th grade by now. An 8th or 9th grader should be able to not bother their mom or dad or grandma, grandpa, or whoever, brother, sister, to grade their work, right? They should be able to grade their own work. And then they come to me, oh, I don't understand how you got number 3 or whatever. And we go over it. And then I do have assignments for them in the classroom, like a quiz or something that I will go through every week, to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing with the textbook and things like that. Take a picture of your work for me, send it in, every now and again. And then we have chapter tests that are in the classroom as well. And once again, I print those out so they have something to write on. They worked out the test all the way on their paper. And then when they're all finished, they put the answers into the classroom on the computer, but they've worked it out first. So they're not looking at the test going, oh my God, I got to copy down number 1. I got to copy down number 2.
Right.
Copying is very difficult for a lot of students. And the transfer is, for me, I worry they're going to copy it wrong. Or maybe they, when they, even if they go in and type it in wrong, I've gone back and given them credit because they showed it on their paper.
That's good.
That's good. So they had the right answer, but they wrote it wrong. So, that takes a lot more time on my part, but I mean, I love my job. Thankfully, my husband lets me do it. But I want them to be ready for the next year. That's always the goal, is to be ready for the next year, whoever your teacher is, whether it's me or somebody else.